What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing on with what is, I guess, the 14th episode of ReZero Season 2, or Part 1 of, or the first episode of Part 2 of Season 2. It's confusing, alright? I'm probably just going to go with continuation from Season 2, and this would therefore be Episode 14, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check that I am saying that right, because I think first part was 13. Yes, so Episode 14 of ReZero Season 2 is what I'm going to be calling this, probably. This one's titled, what was it? Straight Bet? Straight Bet. All in caps as well, which is kind of interesting. Don't know if that's just Crunchyroll having a moment or not, but anyway. Yeah, technically this is a new show. Technically. But no, this is the continuation of Part 1, which we watched in the summer season. We had 13 episodes of that, then we took a break, and now we're having this episode again. I think COVID was the reason why we had this break in between, especially considering how episode 13 ended. It wasn't really like a finite finishing point that made sense for a 3-month wait. Like, if you look at Moriarty the Patriot, which was definitely scheduled to be a split core show, you can just see how the final episode of that really built in and was like, oh, you're going to be excited for the next part because they introduced all the different elements. This one didn't really have that. It had a okay finishing note, and it was like, okay, now we can go from there, but it just didn't have as much impact. But anyway, that's COVID delays for you. It messes everyone up. So normally I go through annual lists for new shows, but this isn't a new show, so there's no need to. But I am going to go through a somewhat quick recap of the events of last time, just to help out both my memory and your memory. So season started with Rem fighting off against Gluttony and Greed, archbishops, with Rem having basically her entire existence aside from her physical form eaten by Gluttony, meaning no one knows her name, no one knows who she is or anything, even Ram, everyone. Subaru's the only one immune to that, probably because his link to Satella. So, after going through a reset just to see where our respawn is, we can't really go back and just restart that. We have to work with the idea that Rem is gone. So we learn about Sanctuary, which is where Roswell and a lot of the villagers had fled to during the Battle of the White Whale. So we head off to Sanctuary. We meet, what was her name? Frederica, I believe, who gave us passage and taught us about the place. There's a barrier around it that keeps half-breeds in. And that barrier we later reveal was placed there by the Witch of Greed, Ekdona. And you have to pass the trial in order to alleviate that barrier. At least that's what the thinking. So ultimately, that ends up being Amelia's responsibility. She's like, okay, this is a way I can win these people over and prove to them that, like, you are safe in my hands, because she's going to be a ruler. She kind of needs to have that skill. So she decides to take the trial, but it's her taking the trial doesn't seem to be working out, and I'm 99% certain it's because it's confronting her past. I'm assuming the trial is past, present, future, based on the fact that Subaru going through the trial saw his family and was dealing with his past and his life before here, which he makes peace with to an extent. So I assume the trial is always based around past and decisions and things that were relating to that. And Amelia has a dark past that she's trying to ignore and forget as best she can, but she can't. We saw a bit of it with the OVA that came out, which was her and Puck's like backstory type OVA, and what happened on the mountain and all her people being frozen and such, which seems to be of her doing. So yeah, there's something there that she can't confront, and I don't know if Part 2 is going to start covering that or not, excuse me. But yeah, we passed the trial. We're getting buddy-buddy with Ekadonna, getting buddy-buddy. However, despite all that, we end up going back to the mansion with the people returning. And we find that all the doors completely open because whoever was looking for Beatrice. If all the doors are open, she can't hide anywhere. Like, you need the closed door, and then you open the door to her place. But if all the doors are open, the final door you open is going to be her place. And that person turns out to be Elsa, who we fought back in like episode 2, episode 3, even, not even that, I don't think, like episode 1 and 2, somewhere around there, back in the very beginning of the show. So the fact that she's back is quite annoying, but yeah, it means that we have to get back to the mansion quickly in order to prevent that. But in doing so, we learn that Beatrice has a cult book. It's not the same gospel that Sloth had, but it is of a similar design. But it's actually the Tome of Wisdom that Ekidona gave to her, and it's like detailing future events and things and telling her various bits. Also, throughout all this, Otto is getting more and more screen time, which at first I was concerned about. I was like, do we really need it? He felt like a comedy relief character, but as time went on, he actually is turning into best boy, which is very interesting. But after another timeline reset, because every time Subaru returns by death, the miasma around him and the stench of a witch essentially grows. So Garfield, who is Frederica's sister, I believe, he grows more suspicious, and they take him out from that. And in doing all that, we learn that the rabbits, which are the Great Rabbit, one of the Witch of Gluttony's creations, along with White Whale, and there was another one. I think it was a snake, if I remember. They're devouring Sanctuary and are drawn to high magic use, which we learn a bit later on. And whilst we're talking with Ekidona in her realm, we learn that we can actually freely discuss the return by death and not have Satella grasp his heart or anything like that. So he opens up to Ekidona about that a bit more. But as soon as he comes back out of that realm and meeting all the various witches as well, and who all have very conflicting personalities, of course, Satella shows up in Sanctuary and has a very creepy scene, and it was brilliant with the sound design and having it in different, especially if you're a headphone user. I highly recommend watching that episode with headphones, because you get the full 3D space. God, we're only halfway through this. We learn that Ryuzu is a clone because Ekidona was toying with the idea of immortality. As the Witch of Greed, she wants it all, therefore she wants to live forever in order to, because then she can acquire everything for all time. So she's toying with immortality. Because of Subaru's meetings, he's now considered the Apostle of Greed, which means those clones technically will listen to him, which I think is going to be important in battling the Great Rabbits, because they can explode, as we see in the fight against Satella. We learn of Beatrice, who is waiting for that person, and there's like a specific line that Ekidona told her, which Subaru is meant to have said back, but he never got the words out in the first time. So we fought against Elsa, and we also, whilst it looks like we were having the upper hand, we then found that Meili is Marby's tamer, the girl from the village who had the little dog, and is working with Elsa in order to go against this. So we have another timeline reset, as Beatrice teleports him back to Sanctuary, and Roswaal is fully aware of the return of death. He has a second tome, like Beatrice is. So again, we consult Ekidona. We end up going through the second trial, which is, I believe, the present trial of what happens when he uses his return by death ability, and coming to terms with, like, yeah, people are concerned and sad for you. Rem consults him, although it's not Rem, it's what's the name of the witch? Witch of Lust, right? I think it was her. And then that starts to spike what Ekidona is truly after, which is the return by death ability. The witches are all kind of at odds, and like, despite them all being the same realm, they're like, it's kind of weird how they're interacting. Satella shows up, wanting Subaru to love himself more, which is odd considering she's the reason he turned out this way. And Roswaal is pulling a lot of strings here and kind of set up this entire encounter with Elsa going to the Sanctuary and the rabbits coming to Elsa at the mansion, rabbits coming to Sanctuary is a lot. So he's orchestrated that, so Subaru has to pick one to kind of mold him into his image and like make him like Roswaal is. But Subaru is obviously going to try and go against that. He's going to try and save both. and we finally end with Otto being best boy again, trying to get Subaru to lean on others more. You don't have to shoulder this entire thing on your own. You can trust people and have them help you do this, which is a lesson he did learn in season 1, I think, with the White Whale. But the further and further he gets put into despair, the more he forgets that and has to be reminded of that, and Otto is a great way of doing that. So yeah, that is the entirety of part 1. Jesus Christ, that was a long recap. I apologize, but if you didn't want to watch this, you probably skipped ahead anyway. But yeah, oh boy, there's a lot. Okay, this series has a lot, and it's only going to keep getting more. I did see a comment. Actually, no, I'll save this for after it because I think this intro's gone long enough. So let's get the episode up here. As per usual here on YouTube, these are time-based format reactions. Bottom left of the screen, you'll see the time for the episode. I'll count you down 3, 2, 1, play. Then on play, start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. Watch this one on Crunchyroll as per usual, since that's who's licensed it this season. No logos or anything to start, we're just going straight into the episode, and it's a 28-minute episode because ReZero really likes to do long episodes. Like, they really like it, and I love them for it. Like, no OP, no ED, and they'll still do 28 minutes, which is nuts to think about when most manage 24 minutes with OP and ED. But also, if you go to my Patreon, which will be linked in the description, you can find the picture-in-picture version of this reaction. I will be backdating the first 13 episodes of this show to have picture-in-pictures as well. There'll be a separate video announcing that to let you guys know. And yeah, I think with all that said, the longest intro I've ever done, because my god, the first season was just packed with stuff. Let's get into this week's episode, I suppose. Let's actually reset the timer first. There we go. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. Straight into it. Is that Otto punching him? Yes, it is. Best boy. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Otto is... Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, Otto very well trained in self-defense, it seems. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Get some sense into that boy. Yes, you do. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Try him. Mm-hmm. God, Otto really has come a long way since he was first introduced. Is he going to try and say the return by death? We just get the title. That look on his face. Hmm. Confidence is back. Well, I don't know about that, but hmm. Oh, I wonder if this is part of his plan in extent as well. Probably not, but right, obviously. Hmm. This music as well is great. Sure about that? Mm-hmm. 3 days. Hmm. Straight back. There it is. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Well, you can never see it that way. Indeed. Hmm. Oh boy, this one's gonna be interesting. What's he checking in with? Fair. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Right, the Ryuzu clones. Well, he does. Okay. Well, more than likely, anyway. Okay, digging for information. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Armor builder. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's one with a C and a D, probably, just to make it easy. Okay. So that's why you rotate. Mm-hmm. Oh, Shima, okay. I didn't even pick up that there have been alternating names like that. Ah, okay. Interesting. Hmm. Right. Not really. Oh, have we been told this then? Okay. God, there's so much from last season that, like, I see. Hmm. Because, okay. Hmm. Which means we're gonna have to go confront. Well, we're confronting Garfield in a minute anyway. Hmm. Oh. Uh-huh. They should. Oh boy. Hmm. Right. So it is based on that past. Yeah. That's from the OVA. Perhaps. Uh, Nothing inherently wrong with that. Hmm. She's tired. Possibly. Hmm. Hey, Buck. Where has Puck been this entire time, by the way? Was that Kid Amelia? That was Kid Amelia, wasn't it? Okay, so we are going to explore her past. Yay. Off doing something, but I don't know what. You do look smaller. Huh? What? We finally get Puck back, and now. What? Okay, that contract was sealing memories. Okay. Hmm. Finally got Puck back, and now gone just like that. But that means she has her memories back now of her past, which in theory would allow her to pass the trial potentially. Hmm. Okay. Sure. Hmm. Easier said than done. Wow. Who the hell is this? Is this Mother? Huh? What do you know? Mm-hmm. And she went missing. Oh boy. Hmm. What was Subaru doing then? Where did he go off to? I assumed it was to meet with Garfield, but I guess not. Or is he going to be here now? 2 cups set out. Is he going to walk back in and Subaru's sitting there? No. Otto? Did I say Myth and Royd right there? Hang on. Well, yeah. Okay, Otto. Oh, she's off here, okay. Told you that kind lie. Hey. Looks pretty beat up, or he's just been everywhere, I guess. Hmm. Alright, that was it. Holy shit. Also, did I just see... I saw Myth and Royd there for a second. I know I did. I think they had a song called Straight Bet, did they not? Let me just see if I can find that again. Yeah, Straight Bet by Myth and Royd. And then Memento by Nonok. Memento by Nonok was the original, right? That's the ED that was playing right at the end. So I guess that first song we heard that I was like getting into, I guess that was a Myth and Royd song. Is there an actual version of that out anywhere? Straight Bet. I mean, Straight Bet really does sound like the right. And that sounds like one of their names. I mean, yeah, it very much fits one of their names, like after Tit for Tat and things like that. Myth and Roy, Straight Bet. Oh yeah, so this was the original ED? Was it? Was this the ED before? I did not know this was an ED. I don't remember this song at all. What are the EDs for ReZero Season 1? Oh, it's for Episode 7. Okay, it was a one-off song, that's why. That's why I don't remember it. I was like, Myth and Royd, they do another song? I hope Myth and Royd do another song, because I've been wanting to hear more of their stuff. They haven't really done anything since Tit for Tat. I'm hoping that they do some more soon, because they are the sound of Isekai, essentially. I mean, Jingo Jungle, Veracity, Tit for Tat, LLL, Style Helix, Hydra, like, all these are just, they are the sound of Isekai. So I'd love to have them back on ReZero, but I don't actually know. Do we know who's doing the next one? Let's see. Season 2. Oh, yeah, okay. From episodes 14 to 25, second opening will be formed by Mayuma Shima, ending theme will be formed by Nonok. Okay, so there are new songs coming, not Myth and Royd. Shame, but I'm sure these ones can be good. But yeah. I don't remember this song from episode 7. I really don't. It's been so long since I've seen the original as well, to be fair, but I did not know that this was used as a ED song. So yeah, this was a special for episode 7, whilst everything else was Style Helix. And then Myth and Royd did the opening, Paradisus Paradoxum. Then the ED was Stay Alive by Ri Takashi. Then Theatre D was their one-off for episode 14 by Myth and Royd. Yeah, I genuinely do not remember that song. Okay, so they've been using old songs, which means next time out, we might have a chance of guessing the OP and ED, the new ones. Possibly, I assume. Okay, good to know. I'm glad I read up on that, because I feel like I'd be like, oh boy, new Myth and Royd song. And it's like, no, this is a 4-year-old one. Although it's just not listed in their... It's just not listed on here. To be fair, this Wikipedia for their Myth and Royd discography, it's not very good. I mean, this one's not on there. The other one that they did's not on there. I know they're probably like anime exclusives, but still, I would think they list them on there. Just saying. Yeah, coupling song Straight Bet. There it is on the actual full wiki page, not on the discography, which is a bit annoying. But whatever. It's a coupling song to Style Helix. Fair enough. Cool, I'm going to have to listen to that at some point, because I want to hear the full version of that, because I was getting into that music a lot. But yeah. Yeah, that was a good episode. I love that Puck finally comes back, and then is gone again. But if by going it means that Amelia can remember her past, I guess it's for the greater good, right? So... I don't know, I feel like Puck has a little bit more to play in that. I don't think that's just Puck gone at this point. I feel like there is a further progress on that. Like, just saying, oh, Puck was just breaking that this entire time, okay, but I feel like there's more than just that. So I feel like that's a waste of Puck's character otherwise, to an extent. But allowing her to remember and talk it through and therefore pass the trial, ultimately it had to be done. I don't think it could have been done without doing that, because Puck had purposefully placed that block on it. or that contract ultimately ended up having that block on it. Fair enough. God, 28 minutes. It goes by way too quickly, doesn't it? There's childhood Amelia. So I guess next episode we're going to be talking it through with Amelia some more. So yeah, Subaru and Amelia are going to be talking. Otto and Garfield, I'm going to guess, are fighting. Because that's going to be Garfield's reaction to it, obviously. He's going to go violent with it. God, it's just so... I forgot just how much happens in ReZero. And this is what I was going to talk about right at the beginning was... I saw someone say that they preferred Season 1 because they felt like more happened in Season 1. And I think there was a good response on that, which said that's because Season 1, over the course of 25 episodes, adapted 3 whole arcs of story. Whereas this one is just, whilst it is the longest arc, it's just adapting the one. Or at least it seems to be just adapting the one, unless it does like a filler arc towards the end, which if it did, I don't think people would be a bit angry. But this one's just a bigger, longer arc, and therefore there's a lot of setup. Especially in the first half, there was a lot of setup, and setting the scene, and setting all the information that you would then use in this second half, where we're now starting to solve the issues and try and save both Sanctuary and the mansion simultaneously. And because we took that extended 3-month break, it just kind of set in more and more. It's just how slow-paced it was, and maybe how Season 2 hasn't had that same... how do I phrase this? That same... I really can't think of the words to do it, but the same level of sensation of things happening. Like, Season 2, it doesn't feel like a lot's necessarily happened. I mean, there's so much information there, because even in my 10-minute recap at the beginning, I still missed out a lot of stuff that ultimately was raised in this episode. So there's just a lot there, but it just doesn't seem like it's that important yet, because nothing's been acted out with that information. But now that we've made the bet with Roswell, and we are now going ahead with it, and now that Park has released the thing, we can conquer Amelia, which means Amelia can now pass the first stage of the trial, probably, or at least has an actual chance at doing it now, as opposed to before. Things are now set in motion and are rolling, and we're now getting to the point where it's like, okay, now things are going to kick off. God, the Elsa fight is going to be insane, probably. Because, I mean, Beatrice did win against Elsa once, and then it turned out Elsa wasn't actually dead and won in the end from surprise. But now that Subaru knows that, he can warn Beatrice that just because you kill her doesn't mean she's actually dead. So, that's going to be interesting. And then we still got to fight Melee. Then we've got to make sure that do we beat the Great Rabbit? I mean, we took out the White Whale. Can we beat the Rabbit as well? Because in that case, it's only the snake left, and no doubt we'll have to fight the snake at some point, probably. But I wonder what would happen if we got rid of all 3. Well, what would the Witch of Gluttony do? Interesting. Yeah, that was a great episode. We're back into it, and I'm going to have a lot of work ahead of getting the picture-in-picture versions of the old ones up, but as long as this one goes up, I'm fine with that. I really was excited for a new Myth and Royd song, but not to be apparently. I'm still looking out for when Myth and Royd come back and put out a new song, because it's Myth and Royd and No Name. Those are the 2 standout artists for me, where I'm like, I like pretty much everything you've ever put out. And as a result, anytime I see Myth and Royd or No Name on a track, I'm just going to be like, yes, must watch and must listen. But, oh well. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. A longer one, because I had that long recap in the beginning, and it's just a longer episode in general. Leave a like if you enjoyed the episode as per usual, as well as your comments, what you thought of the episode. Anything I raised through it, or any corrections I need to be made, please let me know, of course. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Winter 2021 season you can find on the channel. A lot of shows going on. We've got more shows coming today after this as well. There's plenty of it coming, so don't forget to subscribe on Patreon as well to see picture-in-picture versions of this show and all the other winter shows that will be going on. And until next time, see you guys later.